Hey guys, welcome to Radiation Test. And a friend of mine on YouTube shared a video with me that was pretty disturbing. So what I did was I contacted the gentleman in Japan that made this video, and I asked for his permission to make a video to look at what he had found, and he gave me the okay. So I want to point this thing out to you guys. Now what you're looking at now, I'm going to roll the video. You're looking at this gentleman. He has a dosimeter, which is basically like a Geiger counter, except it records a dose over time and records it in there, so you accumulated dose over time. He takes this Geiger counter, or this dosimeter, and moves it over to a fish that he bought at the local supermarket. And watch what happens. See that? This is a fish that's being sold to men, women, and children, and it's pretty much a radioactive waste, guys. The Japanese government is not doing an adequate job in protecting their people at all. See, look at this. And the Japanese government is pretty much doing all they can to have business as usual go on. And over on my blog, there's a link to a friend of mine, William Milbury. He's living in Japan right now, and he done a video on food safety in Japan, and he was looking at how the Japanese government is dealing with this situation. And pretty much what he discovered was the Japanese government is doing very little to protect consumers from radioactive isotopes, and they're doing everything they can to maintain the business as usual. And in one of my previous videos, I evaluated an FDA document. Yeah, you see that? There's the label. But I evaluated an FDA document, and it clearly shows that the FDA and the federal government is allowing food products from Japan to be imported over here, including dairy. And also over on my blog, there's a link to an interview with Marco Kaltofen. And in that interview, Marco Kaltofen clearly states that the FDA is doing very little to find radioactive contamination in food. I'm not saying that they're not monitoring, because they've always monitored for it, but they haven't ramped up efforts to really deal with this situation that we're going through right now. And I'd like to point out something else. That gentleman's dosimeter, it detects beta and gamma. Now this one right here is a Geiger counter called the Monitor 4, and it's called that because it detects alpha, beta, gamma, and X-rays. So we detect alpha through the thin mica window, and we can detect gamma rays and beta. We'll let it penetrate right through the plastic and get into the Geiger-Muller tube. But yeah, it's a tragedy, guys. It really is. But I just wanted to point out, if there was any doubt whether or not Geiger counters and dosimeters can detect radioactive contamination in food, well, 148 production clearly demonstrated that you can indeed detect high levels of contamination in our food. So it's bad news, guys, but thanks for tuning in to Radiation Test, and we're going to be doing all we can to find this type of product on the market. So thanks a lot, and stay well. Bye.